Welcome back to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and today we are continuing on a topic that is really important, and that is the 4 steps to becoming the preferred provider or practice in your area. How to become the chosen one, so to speak, so that people out there just know who you are and know that you're the right person that can provide the solution for them to not only lose weight, but understand how to keep it off for life and do that in a fun and engaging way. So how to become the chosen one, there's really 4 steps. Last week we talked about clarity. If you missed that, go back to that episode and check it out. Or you can even just download your freebie guide right below this video. There is a link for you to get that, and it incorporates all 4 steps in one place for you, because you know I love creating freebies for you. And if you want to do a deeper dive right into how to apply this in your practice, then just reach out to me and we can get started. It's easy through Bariatric Business Boss. Bariatricbusinessboss.com is the link there. And I don't know if you know this, but I actually do free opportunity audits with practices. It's easy to do. We just have a simple conversation. We talk about what's top of mind in your practice and how you can help improve anything that's top of mind in terms of a frustration or growing your practice. So I do those as well. But let's get to step number 2. So last week was clarity, and this week we're talking about consistency. And all of these 4 steps relate to how to build trust with those that you desire to serve. So what I mean by consistency is making sure that you and your message and how to get started is out there in a big way and in a consistent way. You can't just post once a week or once every month, or, infrequently create a blog or send a newsletter every so often. That might be an easier way to do things because we have so many other things taking up the time in our day, but you've got to be out there in a consistent way. And I don't mean in a salesy way, I mean in a serving way. And so consistency is something that has to happen. I recommend that you post, we want to keep this non-overwhelming. So if you're not doing anything, start wherever you are. But the bottom line is you want to eventually be posting, 3 to 5 times a week on the platforms that you choose. And we can talk about all sorts of different ways to get that out there. It can be actually fun, and it's something that you may delegate to a corporation or a company or something, but you've got to have your finger on the pulse. You're the one who knows those that you want to serve. You're the one who knows their pain points, and you're the one who needs to be able to consistently show up. And we don't have to make this hard. I like to keep things simple, but essentially consistency is keeping you and your message out there in a consistent manner. So basically, we don't need to complicate this, as I mentioned, but really it's first of all knowing who your ideal patient is and also what their main pain points are, and how you can address those, and how you are the logical solution for them, and how you can really serve them and help them with your services and products. And then really it's the next step to get started. That's the simple message that has to be crafted, and you can do this actually very effectively. But nobody really likes a one-hit wonder. They don't remember you. It doesn't get you anywhere. So just having something out there once in a while doesn't really help. The other thing people don't like to hear is you talking about yourself all the time. They want to know what's in it for them. How can you really help them? So when you come at your messages, when you create your messages and you think about, is what I'm about to say true, and will it serve the people that I want to work with the most? If you come at it from those 2 questions, that litmus test, so to speak, when you come at it from that direction, you will end up crafting a great message, and then you will reach those that you want to serve. And then always just tell them what the next step is to get started with you. So let's walk through this a little bit. So as you're doing this, first of all, you need to decide what platform are you going to be on. And for some physicians, as I work with them, they're like, I don't like being on video. I hate the sound of my voice. I don't like to write. I don't like that. There's all these barriers. But the reality is I have not worked with anyone yet that hasn't started to really enjoy this and do it in a much bigger way. Sometimes the train leaves the station. It's hard to hold them back. And we can talk about all sorts of different ways that you can make this convenient for you and your team. But that's what you need to be doing. So what platforms do you want to be on? The top ones that tend to work well are Facebook still, Instagram, and YouTube. We actually find Pinterest working well as well, some LinkedIn, some Twitter. But the bottom line is to pick a platform where your patients are hanging out and start somewhere. So first, it's really your platform, and then it's really what is your message. So I always encourage people to think about what it is that you're asked every single day in your practice. We can make this really fun with lots of different questions, but think about what it is that patients are asking you, and then go ahead and address those in a very easy and succinct video. I mean, I do the same thing for Weight Loss Practice Builder. I listen to those that I work with. I listen to what their pain points are, and then I help provide resources for them. And if you're working with your patients, there are other patients out there just like them that also need your services. So that's a great way to start. The next thing is to think about what it is that they might not be asking you, but they really need to know. So they may just say, what's the fastest way for me to lose weight? That's a common thing. Everyone wants that magic bullet, but really what they might need to be asking is, what are my, how do I identify my barriers to losing weight? How do I overcome my weekend think where I do really good during the week and then I have problems over the weekend? Maybe they need to be asking you about some of their comorbidities that are really adversely affecting their health and how they can correct those, such as even carbohydrate sensitivity, insulin resistance, diabetes, hypertension, all those different comorbidities. Maybe there's some really specific questions about that they need to have answered. They may be asking, how do I get an appetite suppressant? But maybe they really need to know, what are the benefits? What are the risks? What are the best ones out there and available? And then you need to relate it back to what it is that you provide. So you need to have your platform picked out, what your message is going to be, and then you also need to be able to identify why you're uniquely qualified. We went through a lot of that last week, but why are you uniquely qualified to help them with their problem or their barrier to losing weight? And then how do they get started with you? And if you can focus on this and try to drown out all the competitors and what are they doing and all that sort of thing, you will find that you will really get into sort of a groove, and before you know it, patients will be coming into your practice and they'll be saying, I love your video that you did on thus and such. I love the fact that you were talking just to me. I love the fact that it was so easy to get started. Your team is awesome, but we build on all these different things that we talk about in this podcast, and it really is a great way for you to get out there and to become the chosen one. But you can't do it by just posting infrequently or letting somebody else do all your posts that don't really relate to your primary message, or reaching out to the people you want to work with the most and that need your help, or how you're uniquely qualified to be the person that works with them and how to get started. So it's hard to delegate that. And so these are some easy ways for you to get out there. And like I say, I've not worked with a physician or a team yet that hasn't, almost all of them don't want to start this. They don't want to get going with it. But once they do, it ends up being a really wonderful thing, and it creates some magic in their practice, bringing in lots more people and helping you to become the chosen one in your area. So I hope you found this helpful. Reach out to me if you want to talk further or have an opportunity audit for how to improve any aspect of your practice. And especially I like to work with helping people with the profitability part and reaching their ideal patients and really improving patient outcomes. But join Bariatric Business Boss if you're not a member already. And next week we will be talking about step 3. And don't forget to download your guide right below. That's your freebie. It has everything in one place. And until next week, take care. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.